Hello and welcome back to Matriarch Astrology. In this YouTube video, we'll be exploring the placement of Mercury in the houses of a child's birth chart. Now, Mercury represents communication, intellect, and mental processes, and its placement in a child's chart can give us insight into their communication style, their learning style, and areas of intellectual interest. So join us as we delve into each house and uncover how Mercury's placement can impact a child's life. So this video is going to be a little bit different because I have created a cute little slideshow here just to kind of give you guys a different approach to this topic. So we're first going to start off with Mercury in the first house. Now this is the house of self. So the first thing we're going to talk about is how this child may be more talkative because it is, of course, Mercury and it's the first house. So this is how they may present themselves to others when they first meet them. So they can come off as extra chatty or just wanting to talk a lot with friends and engage and be interested in other children and what they think. This is going to be their first approach to things, is right off the bat. Let's go ahead and start talking and get to know each other. They also can be very animated when they speak, because again, this is the first house. So this is also the physical body. So this is somebody that can talk with their hands a lot, move their hands while they talk, make all these big drastic expressions. So that's something that you may see with this placement as well. We're going to see how this child can be curious, not only about others, but since, again, it is the first house, once they get a little bit older and as they're growing, they may be curious also about themselves and wanting to know like why they do certain things or maybe why they think the way they think. This can be seen as a curiosity of themselves and kind of how they work, but also it could be also about others and just curious in general and wanting to know everything and how things work. They can also be very humorous. So this is a very, again, like in the beginning, talkative, but then also more fun and wanting to just joke around and make people laugh. Because again, a first house is a lot about the body, the self, and also the first impression with others. So they're going to want to make other children laugh and just come off as a little bit more goofy towards other children. So next we have Mercury in the second house. So the second house is the house of possessions. So one of the first things we might see here is being more thrifty or wanting to save money. Having a piggy bank would be a really good idea with this child. Also, if you go to thrift stores, it would be a great idea to take this child to thrift stores and have them search for good bargains and good things that they may want to buy. There's going to be an interest in learning about money. So from early on, you want to teach them about saving money in that piggy bank and, saving up for something that they want to buy and learning about maybe not spending so much. But again, there's this more thrifty energy here. So they may want to save more than they spend. They may also want to learn and be interested in different ideas and different subjects. They might understand how important education is, and they're going to look for ways to learn more and grow as individuals. So moving on to the third house, the house of the mind and communication. So a child with Mercury in the third house, this child may be likely social and talkative because this is the natural house where Mercury is the ruler. So we're going to see again that social and talkative, and they may be interested in hearing other people's points of views. However, they may also suffer from restlessness and have trouble sleeping or calming themselves down. They may also have a talent for writing or for speaking in large groups or, as they grow older, maybe larger groups. So encourage them to have a journal when they're very young, as soon as you can, where they can put to use that natural ability that they already have. Next up, we have Mercury in the fourth house, the house of home. So Mercury here in the fourth house, we may see that they may be more introverted and shy, and they may prefer to stay close to family members when meeting new people. They may also do well with homeschooling. Of course, this will depend on the entire chart, and a full interpretation will be needed before making any decision when it comes to homeschool. This child may also have an interest in the lineage, culture, and ancestry, and they may enjoy home-like activities like baking or knitting, some type of weaving, crochet, things that are more calming and relaxing is going to be really great for Mercury in the fourth house. So next we have Mercury in the 5th house. Now this is the house of creativity and children. So they may enjoy learning through play because this is the house of play, especially in childhood. So giving them lots of opportunities to play outside will help keep that mercurial energy at bay. But just incorporating learning through play through like sensory bins, those are really great that you can get at IKEA, where you can use kinetic sand or different type of materials and put like letters and just incorporate that learning in there, but also with play. So there can also be an interest in music or theater, and you can incorporate this easily at home or at school, or maybe sign them up for something outside of the home like music class, whichever way you want to do it. This will be great for that 5th house energy. Again, this is all about keeping the mental stimulation, so whether it be through play or music and theater. Another good thing would be mind games and puzzles that this child would really enjoy. So getting them big chunky puzzles when they're smaller, and maybe more smaller intricate ones as they grow up, making it a little bit harder as they get bigger, may help keep their minds occupied and keep them really interested. Okay, so here we have Mercury in the 6th house, the house of daily routines and hobbies, as well as pets. So here we're going to see that this is going to be more of the house of using tools. They're going to learn, or they're going to love learning through using different type of tools. This could be through woodworking or even helping to build items throughout the home. They enjoy hobbies. So this is, of course, this can include taking care of a pet. They can see that as a hobby, or building things with blocks or Legos. Younger children would do better with Duplo Legos, and then as they get older, they can be smaller pieces where they can really build something that takes a longer time. This is going to be something that helps them stay stimulated. These children can be mentally organized in general. So getting them a nice little planner or an agenda for school is going to really help them with their productivity. So Mercury in the 7th house, this is the house of partnership, ruled by Libra. So here we see a child who wants to learn effective communication skills. So their relationships and other social interactions may have a big effect on how they, can talk and communicate with others. So they may be naturally interested in other children and, want to find out more about them, which can help them, of course, in making connections that last. With Mercury in the 7th, this child may also have a talent for debating or negotiations and conflict resolution, which can help them with everyday activities. It's important to encourage and support their communication skills from a very young age, as this can help them succeed in many areas of life as they grow. This child can learn best in partnerships where they help each other out. They can grow and reach their full potential by working on group projects with others and doing activities that interest them. This is going to be able to give them the chance to work with different kinds of children, all sorts of kind of children that can help them build their social skills and improve their ability to get along with others. Not to say that that's going to be a big issue. It's just going to really help them as they grow. So Mercury in the 8th house, this is the house of changes and the past. So the house here, when we see Mercury here in this house, this suggests a strong preference towards exploring mysteries and engaging in different type of research activities. So this could be like if you're doing homeschooling or giving them something to help them at home with learning. Regular math sheets may be a little bit boring, so we want to design maybe math problems or some type of word puzzle that involves like solving a mystery or solving a puzzle, making that learning something mysterious. There's a lot of online worksheets that can really help with that. There's a lot on Etsy as well, and you can even get books on Amazon that provide like this solving type of worksheets when it comes to learning. This is going to make it a lot more interesting for the child and have more of a desire to learn. So these children are more likely to observe and think things through before jumping to conclusions. So they will often take time to listen to others and fully understand the bigger picture and the topic at hand, before offering their own point of view. So they may take back a little bit observe and then give their perspective. They may be more prone as well to keeping secrets. So we want to create a safe and supportive environment for them to express their opinions. So that could be, as a parent, maybe encouraging and using active listening, because by active listening and using that skill, we're giving them the opportunity to speak up. And we can also do that, or when we do that, we can help them feel valued and understood. And that's going to lessen that need to keep to themselves and keep secrets. They're going to feel more safe to be able to speak about their thoughts and what they're feeling. Mercury in the 9th house, the house of belief and learning. Here we're going to see an interest in learning new languages. So it can be that by a very early age, they're able to pick up on a second language, a lot quicker. Again, aspects and stuff like that really depend here, but we're just going very general here. But they may be very interested either when they're younger or as they grow in, learning new languages. They're going to want to travel, and this is going to help them gain knowledge, because what this 9th house energy is the house of foreign countries. So they're going to want to travel and gain a bigger perspective on how different cities operate, or different countries, different foods, and how other people live. It's going to really interest them, because again, this is the Mercury energy of learning. To be an interest in other cultures. So if you can travel, that'd be something really great, especially for a child with Mercury in the 9th house, because they do want to know how other people live, how other people eat. That helps them. That's a way for them to really grow and learn, and that's how they're going to want to learn. Mercury in the 10th house. So here we see the house of responsibility. I have this personal placement, so I know a lot firsthand about this. So here we're going to see a more rational mind, depending of course on aspects, but they're going to see things from a more rational perspective and come towards learning with a more disciplined approach. They're going to want acknowledgement for their intellect. So if they get an A on something, they're going to want you to really applaud them or put it up on the fridge, their A plus or their B. They're just going to want to be seen and acknowledged for how smart they are. And they can hold strong opinions as well. So this is somebody who may want to do something, and they may want it to be done a certain way, or they may feel like it has to be done a certain type of way. So just make sure that we're teaching them that it's okay to do things differently, and sometimes doing things that are not fully following the rules, as long as nobody's getting hurt, is okay, as long as it's helping other people in general. So that's something that we're going to want to help them understand, that everybody has a different point of view, and that is okay. Mercury in the 11th house. So this is the house of friends and goals. So here we're going to see that Uranus energy and also the Aquarius energy. So we're going to see here a child who has like this forward thinking. They're going to want to see different ways of doing something. So if you have a project, they may want to find unique ways of proceeding with the project, or just thinking of different ideas in general. They may do better working in small groups, because this is again the house of friends and groups of friends. So they would enjoy working in small groups with other children and doing projects together with others. They may also have unique friends. So they may be interested in the children that may be a little bit different than the normal. So that's something that may be expected here. So I would say expect them to bring some friends over that may be a little bit quirky like them, or just a little bit different. And last, we have Mercury in the 12th house. So the 12th house is the house of the unseen. So here we're going to see a child who's going to be drawn to more artistic or a dreamy way of learning. So they can do best learning through art, if possible, or some type of form of art. They're going to want to take a mystical approach, or maybe a more artistic approach. This is again similar to that, the energy of learning through a sensory bin. That's something that can be a little bit more creative, a little bit more on the artistic side. So, or maybe having them paint. If they're learning the letters, they can paint the letters. If they're going to be more interested in learning, if you add some art in there, or some coloring, or different type of art supplies, will really spark their interest a lot more. They may prefer to work alone, and they may work best actually alone. So we want to provide them with their own little workspace if possible. And of course, this is as they grow older. I'm not expecting a 3-year-old to be left alone. So as they grow older, providing them with like a cute little work desk that in their room where they can work and study on their own, it'll really help them. They'll do best that way. They're also going to be more prone to keeping thoughts to themselves. So from very early on, I would encourage sitting down with them and maybe starting a conversation about, what it is that you're feeling or what are you thinking, and showing a lot of interest. And it's similar to that 8th house where we want to keep things to ourselves. It doesn't mean that they're doing it because they're trying to hide anything. They're just not as prone to sharing. So I would say from very early on, trying to encourage them to communicate, and you also communicate your feelings with them so that they see that it's okay to express themselves and it's safe to do so, at least with you. But I don't see them sharing all the information with all their friends. They may want to keep a lot of things to themselves. Thank you for watching this video on Mercury through the houses in a child's chart. I hope you found this information insightful and helpful in understanding your child's astrological makeup. Please remember that astrology can be a powerful tool in gaining deeper insight into ourselves and to those around us. Please stay tuned for more astrology content from me, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, bye.